South Park is back, and they have now humiliated not only Donald Trump, but they brought JD Vance into the mix, and it is incredible. And Donald Trump is also in the news because he made a late night insane rant that is probably going to have economic implications, and the stock market might be tanking as we speak. And on top of all of that, Donald Trump is also in the news because he is apparently tipping his hand inside the New York Democratic mayoral election. We are now learning, AOC just tweeted this, that the New York Times is reporting that in a previously undisclosed call in recent weeks, Donald Trump spoke about the mayoral race directly with Andrew Cuomo, an associate and old foil, according to 3 people briefed on the call. Donald Trump is trying to get Andrew Cuomo elected. Now, I pretty much stay out of the mayoral race. I just kind of feel like primaries, let primaries happen. I feel like my role here as a commentator is not to tell you how to vote, but to just give you as much information as possible. And for the New York mayoral primary, I kind of stood out of it because I'm not really in New York. There's other people that can speak to it. But now that Donald Trump is getting himself involved, and the fact that Andrew Cuomo ran on the Democratic Party line, lost by a lot, and then is still running again, to me, it doesn't sit well with me, especially when everyone feels like democracy doesn't work. Maybe if democracy happens and you don't like the outcome, you just try again in 4 years or 8 years. You don't just run as an independent, which is what Andrew Cuomo is doing. Now, this article goes on to say that Mr. Louser, who advises other wealthy New Yorkers who speak to the president, said of Mr. Trump, his views are consistent with a lifelong New Yorker who has become a Florida resident that still reads the New York Times Post every day. So still reads the New York Post every day, sorry. And then on top of that, you're not going to believe this. Andrew Cuomo's brother, Chris Cuomo, who has a new show on News Nation. It's weekly, or no, it's daily. And by the way, we get more views here than Chris Cuomo does on his show. FYI, we have a larger audience than Chris Cuomo's show. This might be why. Because Chris Cuomo tweeted this, who, by the way, Chris Cuomo is Andrew Cuomo's brother. It is so unethical that Chris Cuomo is going after politicians who are supporting the candidate running against his brother. He should just be quiet about it. 1, because that would be the ethical thing to do. And 2, because he posted an AI video of AOC that was clearly fake, saying nothing about Hamas or burning Jews' cars, but Sweeney Ads. Okay, here's a bit of the ad. And by the way, you can see here, it says parody 100% made with AI. a journalist tweeted this.
Sydney Sweeney looks like an Aryan goddess, and the American Eagle Jeans campaign is blatant Nazi propaganda. I mean, fuck. Watching that sultry little temptress squeeze into a Canadian tuxedo, 3 sizes too small, with her bouncy little fun bags on the screen staring at you, piercing through the core of your soul with those ocean blue eyes.
A journalist tweeted this. I don't know if you have media literacy. For me, it's so clearly AI. We are so cooked when AI gets even better. We are so cooked. I'm so scared of that moment. Now, AOC, responding to this, said to Chris Cuomo, "This is a deep fake, dude. Please use your critical thinking skills. At this point, you're just reposting Facebook memes and calling it journalism." Good for her. Now, Zoran Mamdani, who is most likely going to be the mayor of New York City, he's 33 years old, progressive, has some interesting ideas about how to change and help the city. Here's what he had to say about Andrew Cuomo becoming basically aligned with Donald Trump.
I would be remiss if I did not directly address some of the news that we saw come out just a few hours ago, which is that the president of this country, Donald Trump, has been coordinating with Andrew Cuomo in direct conversation with the former governor. It is Trump billionaires who have been opposing our campaign's vision for a city that New Yorkers can afford. It is Donald Trump himself who has been directly conspiring with candidates who have decided to give up the people that they are supposed to protect in lieu of securing power through the assistance of that same administration in Washington, D.C. This should be a race about addressing the questions of who will make the city affordable, who will ensure that each and every New Yorker is safe, who will bring our city forward, not an audition for the best jester for Donald Trump and his billionaire supporters.
Good for him. Good for him. I love that. Now, Andrew Cuomo, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's doing online, but there's been these baby memes that are going around of politicians, and someone did it of Andrew Cuomo.
Donald Trump would go through Mr. Mondami like a hot knife through butter.
Ew, this is so cringe.
Andrew Cuomo, who's not writing his own tweets for sure, says, "This is definitely not AI, just great lighting." I promise this whole video is not about Andrew Cuomo and Mamdani, but I just thought the whole thing was outrageous. Okay, so I'm sorry we're just getting to this now, but Donald Trump tweeted last night these insane statements. I just want to say, like, imagine if this were on a press release with like the White House header and like the President of the United States seal. This: reciprocal tariffs take effect at midnight tonight. Billions of dollars, largely from countries that have taken advantage of the United States for many years. Laughing all the way will start flowing into the USA. The only thing that can stop America's greatness would be a radical left court that wants to see our country fail. This is so insane. I do believe like caps lock is the loudest way you can type. I believe if there were a louder way, Donald Trump would do it. And this is going to have implications not only for, obviously, the stock market will likely not do well today because of this. And on top of it, this is, I guess, can I just repeat myself? Do you mind if I repeat myself? This is a tax on us. The countries don't pay. The companies don't pay. They pass it down to us. Now, some companies right now are taking the hit in the hopes that it's temporary, but they're not going to take the hit forever. And what they're actually doing is making it so that certain companies here are actually less competitive because they have this tax burden put on their goods and services that other companies do not. Like Tesla. Tesla is largely made here. Most car companies have parts that are not made here and then they're assembled here. Tesla is now at an advantage because of some of these tariffs. It's absurd. He also tweeted this shit. It's midnight. Billions of dollars in tariffs are now flowing into the United States of America. God damn it. Well, at least we can laugh because South Park humiliated JD Vance as Donald Trump's pathetic man baby. I wonder if I could just pay. Okay, here's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to play the smallest amount of this and hope that we don't get a copyright strike. Now, if you can't see it after, if let's say I hit play and you don't see it, it's because we got a copyright strike and I had to remove it. But let's just play, see if we can play 3 seconds and get away with it.
Boss, the plane is here from Immigration and Customs Enforcement.
Yeah, that's the most I'm going to play. And hopefully it worked. But suffice to say, JD Vance and Donald Trump are getting exactly what they deserve. Now, if you want to give me what I deserve, you can hit like. You can hit subscribe. You can make this video go further. Because right now, we're being a little suppressed. I probably should have said this top, but the videos are getting a little suppressed. So if you can hit like, please do. If you made it to the end, let me know. Leave a comment of 7 words or more. It helps boost this. Subscribe, and I'll see you next time. We're not going to let them suppress the truth. Bye-bye.